What's up, guys? This is TheKephas.
Welcome to Class Course, where we take a brief look at a specific class in World of Warcraft and break down the essentials of their core rotation. This isn't a comprehensive guide, it's designed to get you up and running. So, to keep things short and simple, we're just going to focus on the rotation for now. But if you're curious about the talent build I'm using for this guide, the link is in the description. Today we're going to talk about how to play a Protection Paladin in the War Within patch 11.1. As a Protection Paladin, you are taking on the role of a tank, and there's a lot more to tanking than just executing a rotation. However, this is a beginner's guide that's going to focus on just that. So we're going to keep things simple, and I'm going to try to help you get started by understanding your core rotation. And we're going to start things off with Consecration, because Consecration is a very important ability. You want to make sure that you're always standing in Consecration. This is because of your mastery ability, Divine Bulwark. With this, anytime you're standing in Consecration, you will simply take reduced damage. So as a tank, you can imagine that this is very important. So if you're not standing in Consecration, use it. If you are standing in it and you have nothing else to do, it's okay to go ahead and refresh it, even if it's already on the ground. Next, let's talk about Avenger's Shield. This will throw your shield at the target and it will bounce off nearby enemies. This is a great way to engage enemies, and you can continue using it throughout the encounter. Avenger's Shield has a bit of a lower priority when you're fighting just one enemy, but it becomes significantly more useful and has a higher priority when you're dealing with groups of enemies. Now, as a Protection Paladin, one of your core mechanics will be generating and spending Holy Power. You can generate Holy Power with a number of abilities, including Blessed Hammer, Judgment, Hammer of Wrath, and Divine Toll. Using these abilities will generate Holy Power, and you can have up to 5 Holy Power at a time. The main way that you'll be spending Holy Power is with Shield of the Righteous, which requires 3 Holy Power to be used. Now, you could also spend Holy Power on Word of Glory if you need to heal yourself, but it's still generally better to spend Holy Power on Shield of the Righteous. Fortunately, every 3 times that you use Shield of the Righteous, you will activate Shining Light. When Shining Light is active, you can use Word of Glory without consuming Holy Power. So if you need some extra healing, feel free to use Word of Glory whenever Shining Light is active. Next, let's talk about Avenging Wrath. As a tank, you can use this defensively, but ideally, you want to try and think of this as an offensive cooldown and use it as much as you can, because when you use it, it will increase your damage and healing for a short duration. Now, if you follow the Lightsmith hero path, then you will gain Holy Armaments, which will alternate between 2 abilities. First is Holy Bulwark. This is a defensive cooldown, which will give you an absorbed shield for a short duration. Although this is a defensive cooldown and generally has a lower priority, you do want to try and use it as soon as you can, because when you do, it will switch over to Sacred Weapon. Sacred Weapon is an offensive cooldown, which, like Avenging Wrath, temporarily increases your damage and healing, so using it becomes a much higher priority. However, you never want to use Avenging Wrath and Sacred Weapon at the same time, and this is because as a Lightsmith, whenever you use Avenging Wrath, it will generate a much more powerful version of Sacred Weapon. So only use Sacred Weapon outside of Avenging Wrath. Now, if you follow the Templar hero path, then Eye of Tyr, normally viewed as a defensive cooldown, is added to your core rotation and becomes your highest priority. As a Templar, Eye of Tyr will generate 3 Holy Power, and after you use it, it will temporarily transform into Hammer of Light. This is a very powerful ability which requires 5 Holy Power to be used, so you want to try and prioritize using it before it goes away. Ideally whenever Blessing of Dawn is activated, which is achieved every time you use 3 Holy Power generating abilities. Blessing of Dawn will increase the damage of your next Holy Power ability, and Hammer of Light is the ideal candidate. Hammer of Light will cause Empyrean hammers to fall from the sky, and each time this happens, you will generate a stack of Light's Deliverance. As a Templar, Shield of the Righteous and Word of Glory will also cause Empyrean hammers to fall, generating extra stacks. This means that you can start using Word of Glory a little bit more liberally with Shining Light. Because once you reach 60 stacks of Light's Deliverance, you'll be able to use Hammer of Light again, and this time it's free. Now, there's a lot more to be learned when it comes to playing a Protection Paladin, but this should be enough to help get you started. We've covered so much ground already, and I want to try to keep things as simple as possible. I really do hope this video was helpful for you, and if it was, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. But with all that being said, I will see you guys on the next one.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that like button. And feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. And if you'd like to see more videos, you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. You can also follow me on Facebook, and if you'd like, you can support my work on Patreon. Links to all that stuff can be found in the description below. This is TheKephas. Until next time.